This message is for the UK Prime Minister with no spine, Rishi Sunak, the Foreign Minister and de facto Prime Minister, David Cameron, who once educated his Queen and Nigerians on how fantastically corrupt their Nigerian colonial contraption is. For the Crown and Baba Charles, who is not my king because I am an Igbo man and we have no kings and we are no subjects to no one. This message is to Archbishop Justin Welby, the Nigerian blood oil baron suddenly turned holy man. Where is your holiness now? To the BBC, the greatest misinformationists ever in human history, and to the British people. And for you, British, I keep asking you, how do a people with a king telling them what to do then get to go teach another people with a history of no kings about democracy? As you claim you, Britain, came to teach us under colonialism. Who's fooling who? As Nigeria is a fantastically corrupt contraption today, was that the democracy you, Britain, came to teach us? Are you not ashamed? You, Britain, created the most corrupt country ever. Why are all of you mentioned above silent about a British citizen, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who was illegally kidnapped from a British African colony, Kenya, and then locked up under inhumane conditions by your Nigerian colonial contraption stooges, all orchestrated by MI6? Is it because he's black? The UK government knows very well about the illegal detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But then because of the oil and gold Britain is stealing from her colonial baby Nigeria, Britain, in typical fashion, pretends she does not know what is going on. Just like Britain did during the Nigeria-Biafra genocidal war, of which Britain again instigated. Is it because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke up against you, Britain? Supposedly civilized Britain stealing Nigeria's oil? He spoke up against all that? And and spoke up against the very existence of the genocidal British contraption that is Nigeria. And because he's black. Is that why you're all pretending that you don't know one of your own citizens is illegally being detained in one of your colonies? Against all the odds, with all the Nigerian judicial fraud and lies, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu won his court case in your Nigerian court, hands down. But he is still in detention, being held against the court ruling and his human rights. And I believe that human rights itself is racist. Because if he was a white man being held illegally in another country, Britain, Europe, and NATO will make so much noise or just go bomb some people. Yeah, just go bomb them. That's that. Well, is that not how you do? But then, when it's a black man, Britain, Europe, and NATO suddenly go deaf, dumb, and blind. I keep wondering how the most genocidal people ever in human history, the British, with a history of invading 167 countries out of 189, countries that wouldn't even have known Britain existed if the British didn't go to their homelands looking for trouble. I keep wondering, how is it that the most genocidal people ever in human history suddenly now get to be the arbiters of my human rights? Please make it make sense. Britain, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is again in court on the 15th of this month of December 2023. That's in 2 days' time. He must be free, or else the British citizenship of black people in Britain is a big fraud. Yes, a big, giant, ugly fraud. A racist fraud. He must be free on the 15th of December. When it's in your wicked self-centered interests, you, Britain and NATO, pick up the phone and call your stooge president of Nigeria, Tinubu, to go and invade Niger Republic because of uranium. We Africans know the quack presidents all over Africa. Most of them are all your stooges and puppets of neo-colonialism. We know. It's the worst kept secret in human history. I mean, you guys really think we're stupid. You think that we must think colonialism ended and that neo-colonialism must be something different. Meanwhile, neo-colonialism still has colonialism in it. The only difference between colonialism and neo-colonialism being neo, and neo simply only meaning new. So what exactly is new colonialism? What the fuck are you guys on? What's new colonialism? What was all that independence era in Africa? Oh, independence. We are giving them independence. What the fuck? Only to turn around, you're now telling us some new neo-colonialism. Baba Charles, we saw you cavorting with your Nigerian prisoner of war camp warden president, Tinubu, at COP28, Expo City, UAE. We saw you cavorting with him, shaking, joking, laughing. It was indeed a sight to behold. The king and his drug baron. Oh, are you, Charles, going to pretend you didn't know Tinubu was a drug baron who rigged himself into power? Really? Baba Charlie, I'm asking you, really? Pick up the same phone that you picked up to call Tinubu to go and invade Niger. Pick up that same phone and call your stooge president, Tinubu, to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the 15th of this month of December, because your very own colonial court could not pin any guilt on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The BBC strangely acts like they never heard the news of a British citizen held illegally in a Nigerian jail because Nigeria's oil subsidizes the BBC and Britain at large. Yes, Nigeria's oil subsidizes you. That's why you steal Nigeria's oil, to subsidize your so-called society. You think we don't know that Britain, has been stealing our oil since 1906? You used our oil to win your World Wars I and II, and still stealing that same oil today. You even instigated a genocidal war, 1967 to 1970, between we, the Biafrans, who are trying to break away from your colonial contraption Nigeria, and your so-called Nigeria, where you were playing quartermaster general, supplying them all the arms to perpetrate genocide. You, Britain. Yes. How does Britain balance her books? Is it not from ongoing colonial theft? Do you really think we believe that your financial city of London and your pharmaceutical industry and your arms sales, that you're not even a major global arms sales trader, is what really funds Britain? You really think we believe that? Why are you now in Nigeria stealing gold? Britain, why? Why are you stealing gold in Nigeria now? Oil is no longer enough, is gold now. Britain. Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Free that man. First things first, I'm not a member of the Biafran government in exile. I am not a member of IPOB, but I am IPOB. I told Britain a year ago that the second Anglo-Ekumeku War will come to London one day. That time is almost upon us. My cells are sleeping for now. Should another Nigeria war against Biafra be instigated and supported by Britain, like in the first 1967 genocidal war, this time, we, the Biafrans, will make sure that as we battle it out, and whilst rolling in that mud of war with Nigeria, we must drag you, Britain, down into that mud too with us. All of us will roll in that mud together. You will not allow you, Britain, this time to stand by the sidelines, pretending like you don't know what's going on, all the while playing quartermaster general to Nigeria, supplying Nigeria with arms to carry out racist genocide on your behalf, Britain. If Biafra burns, Britain must burn too. Britain must burn too if Biafra burns this time around. It will not be like the first time that we did not know the magnitude of your evil. You, Britain, cannot eat your cake and still have it. You cannot be, Rishi Sunak, you cannot be making speeches about stop the boats regarding immigration, but at the same time exercising neo-colonialist exploitation on the very place the people you want to stop their boats are coming from. You hypocrites. Britain, what exactly did Biafrans ever do to you? What exactly? If you never came to our land, we will never have known Britain ever fucking existed, and would have been happy as we were before you ever turned up. But ever since you, Britain, set foot in our land and we welcomed you, we have known no peace as a people since. and for over 200 years now because of you, Britain. Why are you such a destructive people? Why? Why everywhere you Brits go, you leave a trail of chaos, blood, tears, looting, and destruction with no accountability? Why? Britain literally built a giant meat grinder, a big fuck off giant meat grinder, and called it Nigeria. Britain, enough is enough. This Biafran generation draws the line here. We draw the line here. This generation. Britain, for 200 years plus, you have enacted a slow genocide which is still ongoing on the Biafran people. This nonsense has to stop now before the blowback comes back to your Britain. And it will come. Britain, we, the Biafrans, will break away from Nigeria, and there is nothing you, Britain, or your failed state Nigeria can do about it. Nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. Biafra will be an independent nation soon, recognized the world over, free of you, Britain and Nigeria. Do not stand in our way again this time. If this British-sponsored Nigerian genocide against the Biafrans does not stop, I will paint Britain red. You can believe that. I will paint Britain red. And when I finish, I will tear Britain down brick by brick. And then when I finish, I'll burn everything down. Starting with that BBC, the House of Lies, the greatest propaganda machine ever, even worse than the Bible. And when I finish, in this life and in another life, if you, Britain, ever sees a Biafran again, Britain, you will cross the road and run away. This is not a threat. It is what it is. This is not a threat. It is what it is. Nobody owns this planet more than the other. What right do you have to be telling me about neo-colonialism? Then you tell me about human rights. And then you tell me, oh, you're a superpower and you're a dominant power. On what basis? I am just letting you know. The evil you are doing to me and my people, when we react, understand that we have the moral high ground. Take heed. Take heed. Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, Baba Charles, Justin Welby, Britain, take heed. A word is enough for the wise. Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do not stand in the way of Biafra's reactualization.